Alright, hello. Today I would like to show you guys how to do crafting. So, to start out with, you're going to get items that are ornate. They're going to have a symbol just like this, but instead of it being this, it's going to be like a little pouch of money. So, what you're going to want to do with ornates is you're going to take them, and you are going to sell the ornates to the vendors. To do this, this will give you enough money to be able to pay for your repair bills and buy your trait stones. So each race starts out with a style, their home style. So let's say that I was a Argonian to start out with. Then Flint would be my home style. So that is your base style that everyone comes with, and it is based on the race that you chose. So you can buy your trait stones from this guy, just any of the clother, blacksmith, or woodworkers. You can buy them from them for 15 gold each and be able to make one item. This is extremely useful to be able to have the mats to craft at all. So these ones you are definitely going to want to decon. Whenever you decon these, they give you way more XP than a normal item would. And if you decon something that's like, say, purple, or it is blue, or whatever color it is, as long as it's not white, you also have a chance to get that quality of upgrade mat from the item. So you're going to want to make sure that you keep those upgrade mats. And if you do not have ESO Plus to where everything is going in a craft bag, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take all your items that you get, and that's what you're going to use your bank for. You're going to put all your items in your bank and keep them in here. The reason for this is you can't use items on other toons if they are in someone else's inventory, but if they are in the bank, any toon can use them. It's like having the craft bag, but it takes up space still. So that's the workaround to be able to keep all your mats in one space that all your characters can use them. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your mats in your bank, and you want to buy your transmute gems from these guys. Or your style gem, sorry. Now, don't worry about refining stuff quite yet. You'll get stuff, but you won't be able to get any of the good items from them because you need to have these extraction things, these skill points put into extraction. All of them have it. Woodworking, jewelry, blacksmithing, clothing, all of them have one. And what you need to do is you need to put points in there, and every point you put in, you can get green, then you can get blue, then you can get purple. Or no, sorry, you start out with green, then you can get blue, then you can get purple, then you can get gold. So after you get them, you can refine stuff, and every time you have a chance to get any of the upgrade mats. So make sure that you're saving those until you have your passives put in. Otherwise, it's not really worth upgrading, especially whenever you'll get mats from just deconning things like that. So another thing that you're going to want to do whenever you are just starting out your account is you are going to want to research items. So see how these all have a trait? It's right here. This is the trait. This is an enchantment. This is the set item. You're looking for the one in between all three. So the sharpen trait. We're going to go into the research menu, and you'll see that there are 9 traits: powered, charged, precise, infused, defending, training, sharpened, decisive, Nirnhund. Do not worry about Nirnhund yet. You're going to have to trade other players to get Nirnhund. There are also separate traits for armor pieces. Armor pieces have sturdy, impen, reinforced, well-fitted, training, infused, invigorating, divines, and Nirnhund. Again, ignore Nirnhund. You're going to have to wait to trade people. Whenever you start out, I highly suggest you focus on armor first, and the first thing that you will want to get if you find the things, because this is very RNG whenever you're first starting out, what items you get from the world drops to be able to research. If you have something that is either training or divines, you are going to want to focus on those two first, because those are going to be the best for you. Once you have enough traits, then you can start making set items. So let's say that I make an axe here. See, this is just a blank axe. It doesn't come with an enchant, it doesn't come with a trait. I can put a trait on it, and then I can go to an enchanting table and put an enchant, but I can't put a set piece on it afterwards. So this is a really helpful add-on to, this is called Craft Store. It's very helpful for crafting in general. It can keep track of all of your stuff, like all your traits, all your motifs, all of your research, all of your furnishings, all of your recipes, all of that. So I highly recommend people on PC get this add-on. It is very nice to have. And it will also show you all of the craftable sets in the game. So see how it has a little number beside it? Like Twiceborn Star is 9, whereas Twilight's Embrace is 3. So to make a set, you have to have so many traits of that item. So let's say that all of these except chest piece are 9, but chest piece is 3. Then I can make anything except a chest piece, because I don't have enough traits in the chest piece to be able to make that set. So what you want to do is you want to focus on leveling all of them up pretty equally if you can. That way you can make sets at the same time. And you'll worry about weapons a little later because the armor are more pieces, so it makes it easier to build sets later. For a new player, I would recommend, for if you're a Stam DPS, there is a set called Hunding's Rage. That is easy to get to, and it gives you a bunch of weapon damage. There is also Night Mother's Gaze. Once you have your crafting leveled up high enough and you're trying to make like your first 160 set, I would recommend those two sets to make. For Mag, it's a little more difficult, but I would recommend Seducer. And if you have the DLC Julianos, it is in the Hrothgar. It's not an expansion, but it's like big enough to be an expansion. It's a DLC technically. It's like right over. Where is it? Okay, I don't have my add-on on to show it, but it's right over in this area somewhere. And what it does is it's like Hunding's Rage, but for Mag DPS, and it gives you spell damage. So it's very useful to have as well. I wouldn't level a tank or a healer crafting unless that's going to be your main character, because this is my main character and he's a tank, and there are so many wasted skill points put into crafting. Well, not wasted, but it stops me from being able to grab like PvE or PvP skills. So I have all the sky shards in the game on a tank, and I'm still struggling to be able to keep enough skill points to get everything because I have crafting on this tune. So if you can avoid it, I would strongly recommend to do this on a DPS, or even make like a Altic tune that is only used for crafting. So the woodworking station, the blacksmithing station, and the clothing station, those are all base game. Anyone can do them. But the jewelry was added in Somerset, and you can only do jewelry crafting if you have the Somerset expansion, or DLC now, I guess. So new players that don't have the DLCs can't use a jewelry station. That's why. So you can only research one jewelry thing at a time, as opposed to the 3 if you put your passives into research and the other skill lines. So if you do have the Somerset expansion, start on these as soon as possible. You can get the Arcane, Healthy, and Robust just easily. Those drop everywhere, like everything has them. But like Triune, Infused, Protective, Swift, Harmony, and Bloodthirsty, you're probably going to have to like trade around with other people or something, because those are a little harder to find. They all have unique spots, like Triune comes from somewhere in Cyrodiil, I can't remember where. Infused comes from the Psijic portals that you can only see if you've done the beginning part of the Psijic and Somerset questline. Protective comes from the end of the Psijic questline, and the end of the Somerset questline is where you get those. Swift is where you open up writ boxes, which I will explain in a minute. And if you are max level, you have an extremely small chance to get Swift. I've been doing jewelry writs off and on since Somerset released, and I've only gotten like 5 pieces total. They're kind of a pain to get, so you might need to trade around for those. Harmony come from the Undaunted chest, but since they've changed it up a little bit, I'm really not sure how you get them anymore. It's probably just best to get the traits and have a guildie make them for you or something. Bloodthirsty comes from the weekly coffers. Sorry. They come from the weekly coffers. And they're very common. I raid fairly often, and I get Bloodthirsty all the time. If you're going to do like normal trials once a week or something, I wouldn't really worry about Bloodthirsty. You're gonna get it eventually. It's not rare in the slightest. As for enchanting, you want to just decon every enchant you get that you're not going to be using. Enchanting is by far, other than jewelry, the hardest one to level up. So make sure that you're constantly just deconning every enchant. It takes forever. Provisioning, what you can do is, now that we have multicraft, you can just do like times 100 of something, and then make like 100 of that, and then get up 5 levels in provisioning, and move on to a higher level recipe. Whenever you put points into provisioning, this recipe improvement thing, whenever you put points into there, whether you're DC, if you're DC, then you go to Daggerfall. This inn right here has a guy who will sell, it has a chef and a brewer. They both sell the new drink and food recipes. So you can go into there and you can buy recipes for your new level. That way you can keep doing this. If you are AD, then the inn is in Vukelgard Aradon, and it is right here. Same thing, go talk to the chef and brewer and buy stuff. If you are EP, then it is in Stonefalls, and it is in Daven's Watch. And it is in this tavern right here. Same thing, buy your recipes from them. As for alchemy, it's kind of like provisioning, except it's a little more complicated. This is called Potion Maker. It is an add-on that helps you. You can say that I want a potion that gives me restore health, restore magicka, restore stamina, and I want it to be max level. You can select it, and it will give you all the options that you can do with your current mats. You can even like favorite them, so like you can mark that one as your favorite, and it's really helpful. It does the same thing with poisons, and you can even press this, and it will do whatever you need for your writs. It's a great add-on. If you're on PC, I highly recommend you get it. Craft Store does the same thing, but with enchanting. So it makes it to where instead of having this rune crafting mode where it was like 3 separate runes that you have to put in, plus these, instead what it is it's sorted by weapon, jewelry, armor, and then it's sorted by level, and then quality. And then you can put a quantity in here and say I want to make 10 health enchants or whatever. Or you can even search and say that I want weapon. So it'll give you glyph of weapon damage. It's an amazing add-on. It makes crafting so much easier. Great add-on. If you're on PC, please get it. It will save you a lot of time. Also, the provisioning station add-on is Craft Store as well. That's the add-on that we originally showed you. It does both provisioning and enchanting. The only one it doesn't do is alchemy, which you can get Potion Maker for that. Both are great add-ons. It will save you a lot of time. This one, you need to click on your toon name, and then you need to mark it as your toon that your main. So you need to mark it to track traits, you need to mark it to track styles, recipes, and blueprints. Otherwise, it won't track anything. There is another add-on that if you are on PC, I highly recommend you get. It is Dolgavon's Lazy Writ Creator. Some of these add-ons might need lib plugins. I don't know. If it says that it requires a lib plugin, just go download it off Minion. Like I said, I don't know. All the lib plugins do is their extensions to help them work with other add-ons. So, for writs, what you do is whenever you hit level 6, you can go to your original city, the same place that your inns are at for whatever alliance you are. And then there are 2 NPCs. There's one at the Fighters Guild who teaches you clothing, blacksmithing, and woodworking. And there is one at the Mages Guild who teaches you provisioning, enchanting, and alchemy. You don't really have to do them in any order, though I would recommend whenever you go to certify yourself, do the provisioning one first, because the box that holds the recipe he gives you is right next to him, and whenever you go certify all the other crafts, he moves around the town a lot, so it will save you some time if you go and do provisioning first. After you get certified in these, if you have the Somerset DLC, over in Alinor, there is an NPC over probably about here or so. Or no, sorry, I'm looking at the map. He's right here, right below the, right above the crafting stations. And what he does is he's just like the other ones, except he only does jewelry. He's going to make you go over here or so and go grab some stuff and make your jewelry. They're going to force you to go grab a bunch of raw resources. They're going to force you to refine those resources. They're going to make you make a dagger or whatever and decon it and then bring it back to them and then they'll certify you. Whenever you do this, if you're doing this on multiple tunes, I highly suggest that you keep 10 of whatever item it is. So say that he's going to make you go grab 10 raw jute. If you keep 10 of it in the bank, then you are able to completely skip having to go grab it for him if you have the refined mats already. So that's another perk of having it in the bank if you don't have it in the craft bag. Once you get certified in writs, you can grab these from these boards, and you can turn them into, if you have the add-on, it'll auto-do it for you. This is Dogobon's Lazy Writ Creator. This saves you a lot of time. I'm sorry if you're on console, you can't get add-ons. You walk up to the stations. If you don't have the add-on, then you have to go into your journal and figure out what needs made and then make it. It's a pain. So once you do all your writs, then you can go turn them into these boxes. And now your marker might say that you need to go somewhere else. Ignore it. They made it to where you can go anywhere to turn in your writs, so you can literally do it at any one of these. If they have a board, then they've got a writ turn in somewhere in the city. Let me turn off something about this add-on, that way I can show you what is in the boxes. This Dogobon's Lazy Writ Creator. Oh. Okay. I'll stop and actually do this. Okay, Lazy Writ Creator. So alright. So it also opens the loot creator crates whenever you receive them. I don't want to do that for the purpose of this video. Ignore the Jubilee boxes, that's just because there's a Jubilee event going on. Those are not going to be a normal thing that happen whenever you do writs, unless it is during Jubilee. So you get these vessels, or coffers, or packs, or cases, and they have mats inside of them. Also, that 4.7k gold I just got, that more than covered whatever mats I needed to make those. And you get a bunch of free mats, and you get something called survey. So like that's worth a little bit. That's an intricate that I can use. That just repaired some of my resources that I use. So there are these 2 mats in provisioning, and you get them from either your hireling or you get them from doing your daily writs. They are very common. You don't have to worry about getting them. Just make sure you get your hirelings and stuff. Whenever you are max level, you have to where your line is level 50 and your tune is level 50. You have a chance to get these things called woodworking writs, or whatever crafting line it was from. And what it does is it makes you use a trait, a set, and a style. I'll go over styles in a second. And whenever you do that, there is another add-on for this. It is called Writworthy, and I highly recommend this one as well. So you can just queue all, and then walk up to the station, and it'll do it for you, just like Lazy Writ does. So this is a good way to level up your alt crafting to be able to do writs, because if you have enough tunes, then you can actually make a bunch of money daily by just doing your writs every day. And it's not the most exciting way of doing it, but it gives you a bunch of mats whenever you're starting out, and it's great. So there's just a bunch of random crafting items. A lot of these are going to the craft bag because I have that. You get items like this tempering alloy that's worth almost 5k, so that alone just made it to where I got 10k from doing these writs. Okay, so another thing, wrong add-on. Another thing whenever you are crafting is you will get styles. These come from a variety of places. There's a bunch of them at this point. And what they do is you need some of them for master writs. There are blue books. These are just the basic racial styles. Other than Imperial. Imperial is a pretty expensive book. A lot of styles, mainly just used for writs. There's also achievement points, and you can play fashion scrolls if you want them. They're kind of just optional if you're just doing writs and you don't care about the master writs at all. That's gonna be it.